Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Sneakers and Stogies. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, as you can see, we are back for another late night sneaker talk show. Now, I will admit, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm really not gonna lie to y'all. It's late. We are late today. Well, we're late from yesterday and today. So we get a real late night sneaker talk show. So I'm combining um I'm combining both the 11th day and the 12th day together. So this might be a longer stream than normal. Hopefully, y'all are in it to win it like I am. Hopefully, y'all here to enjoy the show. Hopefully, y'all here to enjoy the ride because either way it goes, I don't get a chance to stop. So neither should y'all. Right? Right. Now, I will admit, I should have did one yesterday, but I was so exhausted after work that I didn't feel like doing anything. Like, I needed to rest. And yes, I know I've been on a 10-day streak for streaming, but I'm also dealing with Lent and also other stuff as well. So, yeah, maybe, excuse me. So, yeah, maybe for me, it's like going nonstop, trying to be competitive, trying to keep the streams going. I will say this, though, and this caught me by surprise. And I know I'm about to get into the shoes in a minute. You know, gotta enjoy the show while we can, right? But I realized, where is YouTube? Where's YouTube Studio? I just had the app. There it is. That we gained subs, and now we're sitting at where is it? Where is it? iOS 26 on older iPad is fun. It's interesting, and it's petty as hell. Okay, let me flip it over. Yeah, it's not size right. Good job, me for fucking around and finding out. Right there we go. There we go. Now we cooking. Um, Damn it. What else happened? Hold on. I'm gonna get to my numbers, but look who got denied for DreamCon Media again. But we'll find a way in there if I actually do get the freaking whatchamacallit. If I get the volunteer pass or the regular pass, I'll probably still have my camera stuff doing going what I have to go through. Even though I've finally reached over 2 million views and I've reached over 2,000 subs. Shout out to the 2,333 of y'all that are subs to the channel. I greatly appreciate it. Um, like I said, the stream challenge is mainly not just for y'all, but it's for also new viewers to see what we do when we have our late night talk shows. Because I'm bringing these back more often, and until I get the cable arrangement how I want it, I won't be able to stream because for some weird reason, Fortnite, is the more and more updates we have, the less and less my Switch can handle it. And there's nobody's fault but my own. I'm still using the Switch 1 when the Switch 2 came out. I could use my Steam Deck if I finish modding it. Or I could use the Xbox 360 or the PS4 because I'm still haven't had a chance to get my PS5. Yes, I know I haven't got a PS5 in 2026. Yes, I know it's criminally, wrong. And yes, I could have been had it, but I chose other responsibilities instead. So needless to say, bite me. Because I could have got that instead of I could have got a PS5 instead of my phone posits. And I'm sorry I waited for Pearl for this long, and I'm not doing that again. So, needless to say, we got shoes to talk about. This is a 2-day stream combined into one stream. I'm making up for the 11th, and I'm doing one for the 12th. And there were so many announcements that I'm actually happy about that. Now, I didn't see. I saw something. I saw something this week, and I'm gonna have to. I I saw something this week, and it just really just shocked the ever living hell out of me. And so I'm gonna have to clip this meme so that way y'all can see it. But when I found out this news, it threw me off. It made zero sense. Made zero sense in this economy. Now I didn't heard of some things before. I didn't seen some shit. I promise y'all, I've seen some shit in my life, but I never thought I would see this. Let me get the photos together. Let me get the photos together. Look properly, size. Excuse me. I did the best I could because there's no way to freaking explain this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, 8 men were arrested for stealing 300K worth of Air Jordans from an Arizona train. That includes 1,800 pairs, so 1,800 pairs of the Son of Mars lows. Now I get train robberies for a lot of Nike, and I don't condone it. Let me say this: I get it when I see the news, but I don't condone it. But you're telling me that y'all really got locked up for not even retros. Okay, and not even the non-retro trio, the Spizikes, the Jumpman Pros, and damn the Jumpman Pros, the Spizikes, and the Six Rings. You didn't even get locked up for them. You got locked up for the Son of Mars lows. I don't know what to say. Like you couldn't make this shit up like that. Y'all really did this. Y'all are really going to jail for stealing 300K of J's, but not even that. For stealing 300K of J's, and it's not even retro, main retros. Wow. You mean to tell me that y'all really lost it this way? Like, can somebody in the comments, if y'all got time to support the channel, and if y'all supporting these live videos, and even the chops that I'm doing of these live videos, can y'all explain to me what possessed y'all to do this? Like, that's the thing I don't think people understand. Like, ridiculous work. It's already crazy work. I'm not acknowledging that you put in the work and the effort to rob a train. That's not the point that I'm dumbfounded about. You robbed a train thinking y'all hit a lick, but in real actuality, I'm sorry, it makes no sense to me. Like, how do you explain this? Like, you could have used those powers of robbing the train for good, but you chose to steal Jordans, and not even just regular Jordans. It would be different. It would be so different if it was retros or some other shoes that actually people wanted. It'd be like, okay, the crime justifies the time. Like, you try to steal something that everybody was either gonna buy it over or be hyped about, and it's like, okay, cool, accept it for what it is. But you mean to tell me for most of them shoes were the Son of Mars lows? You really hit a distribution link and did it for nothing, basically for nothing. Good job. The more I see this, the more it makes me realize we are in a weird place and a accepting of it. And you could, in hypothetical, and in all actuality, you could be way more excited for it, and you could be, a little bit happier about it. But it's just the simple fact that you really went down for this. No. So, with that being said, I just wanted to let that be known. Like, out of all, I just want that to be known. Oh Lord, did the stream? Okay, there it is. I was about to say, don't tell me that the stream was lost. I was about to say, good Lord, I don't want to go out like this. All right. Time for another topic because that really broke me. That really broke me in the context of you really went to jail for this. Like, you really chose your ass to go to jail for this. Like, you really. This is what you will be known for in history. You 8 guys. All I can say is I hope it was worth it. I'm not gonna say nothing rude. I'm not gonna say nothing head ass. I just hope it was worth it in the long run. There's nothing else to be said. Like, wow. Okay. So now we got our next shoe, and I'm going with Saucony because I don't do them often unless it's like some big news coming out for them. But they released the Pro Grid Guide 7 Canary, and to me personally, I'll be honest when I say this, it's not a typical shoe I would go for, but I could see the fan base rocking around this shoe more than anything. Like, if you're a real Saucony fan, I could see y'all be like, oh yeah, these shoes is heat. Like, this colorway heat. For me, it's a little loud. I mean, it's a runner. There's nothing wrong with a good shoe that you can run in. Like, I'm not knocking it from anybody. Like I said, it's just not my cup of tea. And don't get me wrong, I like loud colors. I like loud colors on my sneakers. Like, I think certain sneakers that have the loud colors can be greatly appreciated. For me, this is not it. And I'm not going to say it's a bad shoe because that's not my take. Excuse me. I'll be honest with you. That's genuinely not my take. I think that these shoes have a chance to grow on people, and if you really like them, you really like them. But for me personally, I don't think this is it for me. But if you're a real Saucony fan, let me know how y'all feel about these in the comments below, because I think for y'all, I think y'all would like these way more than get a different topic. And I'm glad the stream quality is a lot better. I can live with this, you know. We are already technically in the day 13, so my 13-day stream, shout out to Friday the 13th, it will be later on in the day. But at least, you know, for right now, I'm happy with what I got. All right, let's get our next sneaker. I'm going to go Adidas with this one because I seen these and I was like, I don't think people would rock these, but I think for people who have a need for them, they would get them. So let's talk about them. Hopefully y'all doing well today. Hopefully y'all get to see some sneakers that y'all want. And here we go. So these are the Adidas 510 Freerider Pro Mountain Bike shoes. And I'm not gonna lie, if you're a mountain biker, I want to know if these will actually work for your workouts. Riding the bike up the mountain. See a lot of people riding their bikes on the mountains, down going, you know, in the same direction. So it's kind of like, okay, y'all with the shits too. Y'all are riding this shit just like us. Hold on now. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of paranoid. Like brakes is on fire. You know, we making sure we don't cut the corners too. In y'all honest opinion, because I really don't know. And I think even more now that there we go. That way I'm not. That way the signal's not cutting out because it keeps cutting out. And I don't want that to happen on y'all while I'm live. So there we go. All right. So with that being said, let's. Ooh, yeah. Let's go with our next shoe. Let's go with our next shoe to make the crowd happy even more. We're leaving Adidas, but like I said, if y'all rock with these, let me know. I think for the mountain bikers they'll be nice, but like I said, I don't do it, so I wouldn't know, and I don't want to be, you know, disrespectful to somebody that actually takes it seriously. Like I want to hear y'all opinions about the sneaker more than anything. All right, next sneaker. Yes, I am playing Pokemon Go at the same time. I apologize, but I might as well do something to keep my brain moving while I'm being live for y'all. Like I said, this 2 hour stream, and we're only an eighth in. No pun intended. We're only an eighth in. Like I said, it's a lot of shoes and a lot of time. And if I do feel like, you know, cutting on the game to stream, then I probably would. But yeah. All right. So the next sneaker we have, ladies and gentlemen, dropping March 20th, is the Reebok Engine A Future Peach and Atomic Aqua. And I think I've posted these on the show before. If not, I think I did a short. It doesn't stand out, and it's only very like, and it's basically the logo in certain parts of the sneaker. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, truthfully, there is nothing wrong with the. Oh Lord, that's the error when I'm trying to do streams like this, and it's vertical. But then again, I don't have. Oh, that's right. Fudge. I'm uploading the video at the same time, so I do want to apologize. I didn't think this through. I'm really uploading the video at the same time that the stream is going on, so hopefully I do apologize if it cuts in and out. Hopefully the quality picks up and hopefully everything does get better. But let's continue with the shoe as long as we can. Um, like the Atomic Aqua is only on the logo in its own certain spots of the shoe, like the bubble right here, the back, the side where the logo is, the inside of the tongue. Um, the peach is the most prominent part of the shoe, and I think for a futuristic peach colorway, it stands out. Be a good shoe to go with anyway. And I think even with this shoe being the way it is, I think it's something I can genuinely live with as the shoe, you know, matures over time. I don't think there's a problem with the shoe. I think that the Engine A's are probably going to be some of the very few good things that are coming out of Reebok, and I think even then, it's just something to appreciate as a sneakerhead. I think as a genuine sneakerhead, you could appreciate the little things like this, and that's okay. So let's go to our next sneaker. this. And the only thing is, I could say I haven't done is literally make like logos and stuff for the late night sneaker talk show. I will admit I'll probably just use the last year logo and then just go with that because it's the one of the better ones. But even then, keeping it entertaining for y'all, and y'all are finding out more about the show through the shorts, which is amazing. And like honestly, I'm going back, and I take this pause and say I'm really trying to go back and dig around the channel, like the channel stuff, and just find like moments I was talking about sneakers and just going and re-clipping those because I don't really have the time to clip them. Like when I'm live, I'm genuinely live, and I don't, you know, get that opportunity to be like, oh yeah, let me clip this real quick. No, I'm doing this. Everybody's scattered, so I'm mainly doing the show by myself. So I'm trying to do the best that I can, and to pick the show up from where it started years later is a great thing. So and then we're about to come up on the 6th anniversary of the show, so that's even better. But let's talk about these sneakers. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got our first look at the Nike CHBL 220 because we have the Sabrina threes at the bottom, and I'm not gonna say they're the mid issue, but I think they're the most they're the most safe issue. And you have a purple. I'm looking at it. You have a purple, and I mean it's the safe issue. It's not all out there. I think people will like it just because it looks really cool and it looks like the material. It like the I like the netting for the Sabrina threes. Like it gives me that Rocher run like closer to the middle of the run releases texture, and there's nothing really wrong with the sneaker. Now we have the GT Cut fours. Now this is where it differs because these could have been great. Gives you Big Bang vibes. The like the white, the purple, and the orange from the shoes perspective. It's just when you look at the inside of the shoe, that's where it's like, okay, I see why you use the white more instead of like a purple or a black, because the black would have probably been the better color. But I digress. Now, now the GT Futures, that purple colorway we've seen before. I've had this on the show. I've had it on the channel. That is actually the colorway we thought was gonna be Galaxy, but they ended up making it a greenish color. And even then, the CHBL colorway, I think honestly, low key might be one of the best GT futures. Like these could have came out in 2013 during All Star in Orlando in 2012. Like this Galaxy colorway could have been a Galaxy colorway shoe and would have been cherished like most of the rest of the rank 'em. It would be the futures, the Sabrina threes, and then the cut fours, and that's just my opinion. Like there be days I'll be like, okay, take the futures, then the Sabrina threes, and then the cut fours. Like I think, and that's probably one of my fairest takes, like unbiased takes, because I feel that in all honesty, that pair of GT cuts, even with their release the way they're going right now. But when you compare the cuts to the futures, I think the futures stand out more, and that's the key significance in the sneaker. I think the futures truly do make a statement for themselves and make a name for themselves on their own. And the China Basketball League, if that's what the CHBL stand for, because I forget what it stands for, it's the best colorway, and I don't know how you could disagree with that. All right, so it's time to go to the next sneaker. We're going with this vibe. Like I said, I really do try to shuffle brands and sneakers around because I do sit around sometimes and just send myself messages about sneakers. I have one of my other members of the show that sees sneakers on certain social medias, and they send me messages, and I'm like, okay, cool. I know what I'm gonna talk about. So I try to keep it balanced with each brand, but I try to be fair because let's not sleep on Anita. SP and Anita Kai 3 Anita. Don't get me wrong, Clay was one of the bigger names, but when ever since Kyrie has did these Anita Kai's, I mean the hype is there for them, and I think even sucker for detail, and I think these are gonna sell out quickly. I personally would be surprised if they sit, but then again, the way the market that this shoe is a bad shoe. I'm not saying it's a bad shoe. I think there should be no reason why the sneaker sits. Now, are y'all rocking genuine better shoes of the night? So far, like I said, we are almost 30 minutes in. Give me a breather. I think this will make up for me missing out on Wednesday, even though I should have just streaming. I'm not gonna just quit on y'all like that. No, I'm still on a stream, but it's just I didn't feel it. And there'll be moments in the day like, okay, I had a long day, I had a good day, and I normally just feel it. Like I feel like, okay, cool, I can do the stream. Yeah, that was not do think. But if we go back to the sneaker, I think the sneaker is solid. I think there's nothing wrong with it, and I think we should really enjoy it and embrace it for what it is. All right, let's get our next sneaker. Mm. All right, here we go. Here we go. Let's see what we got here. All right, boop. And I'm not gonna lie, I feel like for a fresh foam shoe, you're gonna be pretty comfortable. So far, I've seen four colorways. They have a very light blue, more of a maroon. They have a dark. They have a more white with neutral and gray, and then they have the one that's photo that's featured now. They're not bad shoes. I think, and this is my personal take. These are gonna be for people who want to be comfortable in their sneakers, and that's not gonna really want to do much, but actually gonna be using them to jog and do like lightly good sneaker. I just think people will either get them and love them or get them and avoid, or not get them at all. I think that's okay. I think we should be appreciative that New Balance is giving people something to enjoy. I think that New Balance is not doing sneakers that will allow for the sales to be better, or they're not doing sneakers that will allow for people to actually enjoy it. I think differently about it because you have to think perfectly in the prime for an open sneaker market, and genuinely that's okay. So let's look at our next sneaker. All right, all right. Let's see. I hate when it makes that sound. But then again, it's only making that sound because it's trying to let me know, like, yeah, buddy, I'm not. You're not rolling like a big shot. Chevy tuned up with a NASCAR pit stop. All right, here we go. Tyrese Halliburton returns to the court. Teases a return to the court in a new Palma Halley one, and we I've done some Halley ones before. I've done some Halliburton ones. I don't think we think these don't get respected enough because Halliburton Halley ones are nice. I'm not gonna say they aren't. I think, and this is from a context of a person who's um, who appreciates a different take in sneakers. I think his sneakers are more for people who are sick of the regular brands and want to try something different, and I think that's okay. I do. I genuinely think that's okay because his shoe is. You're a Puma fan, so I respect you regardless. But but Halliburton is doing his thing, and I think with him doing the sneakers his way, I think the fan base will be more supportive of it. And that's just me being fair. I think honestly we should be excited more for his release than we give him credit for. So do what you can, support Halliburton, Tyrese Halliburton, and the Halley ones. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we have reached the 30-minute mark, and I'm happy to say that the show still must go on because even though we are, you know, just revealing a bunch of shoes that are out there in the wild or people, excited about. The hardest part is to make it interesting. The hardest part is to make it all, it has to be something different. They all can't be just, oh, Nike dropped this, Nike dropped that. And I get it. I truly do. I look just not only for Nike. I try to find other sneakers as well because let's be real. The market is very diverse. And I try, like I said, as much as I try to stay away from Nike, they find other ways to get people's attention. And so the best way they did this is, boom, they decide, hey there, hey you there, we're dropping an Air Max Neon brick set coming soon, and people are gonna be flocking for it. Why? Why you might ask? Let's get into it. You get the way. They haven't given a price on this, but even then, I think more people are expecting this to come out March 28th, and it's not a bad thing. One of my friends actually just got a recent Nike. I think it was the Dunks logo Lego set, and I think he said he actually enjoyed building it, and it actually was real nice for him to have this on his on his collection. So I was like, okay, if you rocking with it, then most people should. One of my kids that I teach, ironically, had on the Lego Dunks, and I was like, okay. Kind of jealous they didn't make it for every size, but I see why they made it strictly for the kids. It's something that they can enjoy. I get it. Product, I think people are gonna have more fun building it. And then if you're a hype beast that's just gonna buy the Lego set and never open it, then what was the point of getting the Lego set besides resell and trying to make the money off of it? Like y'all are the ones that take the joy out of doing stuff like this. That's why I really want to do my live build. I want to take a break from doing the chats, doing the lives like this, and just do a live build on here. But I gotta make sure the other camera is set up. So, uh, before I get into losing myself and the topics that I'm gonna say, um, we all know that Tiana Taylors are coming out this weekend, and they're going for 280. So wish me luck. I'm doing this. I'm gonna do it. 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 But let's find our next speaker. Okay. All right. Here we go. I know I'm about to get some hate for this. I know I'm about to get some hate. Yeah. I know I'm about to get some hate. Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's another Nike shoe. Now I have my own hyperflights, and they're starting to grumble, and I'm really sad about them. They're the year of the Tiger hyperflights from 2014, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, I have a lot of shoes that are basically retros now, but right now, the Nike Zoom Hyperflight Blacks drop March 20th. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. This might be the most ready to replace black Air Force One shoe ever, and I know because my hyperflights were very agile. I remember playing paintball in them and was cutting corners and doing some real Call of Duty type shit in my excuse me in my hyperflight. So with that being said, I think this shoe is solid. I don't think this shoe, me personally, I already know it's gonna be that top dollar shoe, and I think it's patent leather for these. Oh yeah, fools, people are not gonna know how to act when they see these. I'm gonna be dead honest with y'all. You mean to tell me a patent leather Air Jordan, not Air Jordan, Nike Hyperflight? You know, I think this sneaker here, for better or worse, could be something that will either set the tempo or change the tempo for people when it comes to like looking at different sneakers. I think the market would be fair to them. I think with even with people's opinions about certain sneakers, more or less, I think more or less people are gonna at least try to rock them the best they can. That's just my take. Like I said, that's just my take. Y'all can take it as is. Change the subject. I have a question for y'all. Somebody had asked, "What is the best Nigel Sylvester Jordan collaboration?" I mean, you got and they got brick by brick. They got brick after brick. They got both of the Jordan ones. They even got the airships. They got the Air Jordan 4 R by bricks. I'm gonna differ from both of the brick by bricks and the Air Jordan 4 RMs. I'm gonna say that the peel off white Air Jordan ones were probably one of his best collabs, one of his best on. Truthfully, and I learned this the hard way. I have a pair of airships that are very comfortable, that are still slept on, and they were very, very noticeable. They stood out. So for me to say that the Jordan ones are, you have to appreciate it. Like some people even say the low ones are the better ones, and it's like honestly, I can respect the low. If you say the low ones, I can respect your take. I can respect your genuine take because that's a genuine take. The low ones are also underrated compared to the high ones. I think the highs, had their moment that people will love their moment, people will appreciate it. It's cool, you either love it or hate it, but definitely underrated. Definitely, definitely, definitely underrated. Oh, oh no. All right, let's see. Oh, we got some New Balance news. Let's get into this New Balance news because I just found this out today. Beforehand, it's just like the weather, my sinuses ain't never ever felt like this before. All right, so let's go. Let's change it. Let's do a different shoe for y'all. The warning of my stream bitrate is lower than the recording. Recommended bitrate, we recommend. I mean, as long as the quality is good, I can live with this stream. We are only 40 minutes in. I still got an hour and 20 to go. And I just wanted you to know that I really appreciate y'all for tuning in, liking, commenting, subscribing, all that, and dealing with my streams the way they are. Because I know I'm not perfect. But damn it, I'm trying. If there's one thing I will say, damn it, I'm trying. I may not like how I said it. You might not like how I announced it. But damn it, I am trying to make sure I'm that I don't do shorts the normal way that I would do them just to get content out for you. I want y'all to actually sit there and enjoy the conversation at the same time. And it's just the chopping of the videos that, people either love or hate. But all right, so we have our next shoe. Parker Valby is getting her own color New Balance running shoe, the Eclipse, as a part of her signature athlete collection. I'm not gonna lie, looking at her Eclipse, the white and the blue, that baby blue is nice. Like that's a clean shoe. I'm not gonna just say it's a clean sneaker within itself. Eclipse in a long time. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with a clean Eclipse. Like I think I did a video earlier last week about the New Balance Eclipse, and I think, like I said, there's still a solid shoe. I'm not saying anything negative. Let's get to our next shoe. Let's get to our next shoe. Because I think even now, a 2 day stream in one, 2 hour session is going to be hilarious. But it is the late night sneaker talk show, so we might as well have some late night sneaker talking, right? That's really what matters in the most sense of it. Oh wow, hold on. All right, give me 1 second. I'm sorry, I'm taking a little breather. You know. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I honestly didn't think they was gonna release these, but we'll see how they play out. All right, here we go. Oh lordy, oh lord. All right, here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, these are the Nike GT Future Swoosh Man, and these sneakers are based off the Nike mascot they had in the early 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, excuse me. And I think for 190, these sneakers aren't bad. He owned the sneaker beforehand, and it's supposed to be coming out this spring, but it's like a light purple with a whitish blue, like more of a glacier blue in my opinion. And the logo of the helmet of the swoosh man on the tongue with the red on it. I think these are like like tell me if I'm crazy, but I really haven't seen a bad GT Future. Like y'all can say what y'all want about the sneaker itself and how it looks, but I've yet to see a bad colorway. I think I could justify it as a simple argument in saying I have not seen a bad colorway of a sneaker, and I think even then, that's pretty damn cool alone. Like, I think even now, like if I could afford, not me personally saying I couldn't afford it, no, if I futures, I most likely would. I'm not gonna lie to you, because there's just something about that sneaker that just stands out. Um, oh yeah, we need to talk about that. Like I said, I really do try to stay away from doing too many Nike posts, but they're the ones with the big news. So let's get into it, shall we? Oh, my bad. Not what I was trying to do. All right, here we go. All right, I hope everybody can read that. But Nike sent a message to Frank Cook about his leaks and him posting his leaks early, and Nike had something to say about it. Now, I'm going to say this as a sneakerhead. I did enjoy the leaks for him. His leaks, gave me an insight to the sneaker that most people don't see that often. Like you either have to know somebody, because at least it got us hyped for the shoes. He would have at least an honest opinion of how the shoes are gonna do, more or less of the perspective of how if people don't like them, excuse me, people can say they don't like them, but if the numbers show, the numbers pull out right, then it's like okay, it's a solid sneaker. Like you can't be mad at it. But if they ain't hitting, they ain't hitting. And what I think his reveals of his last sneakers is like the last few sneakers that he's done is like people have been really hyped for him. So I'm kind of surprised. I'm kind of really surprised that Nike. I'm not surprised Nike would do that. I'm just surprised that it came. Yes, him leaking his sneakers designs will be missed. Of course, will be missed. No questions asked. But the hype around his leaks were actually positive, and I don't think that's anything bad. I think people just would rather not be spoiled. Some people just don't want to be redo like sneakers that have not been out in almost 30 years. Let us have that moment and enjoy it in peace. Let us be the ones to appreciate the moment of having these sneakers and even these leaks, that for the people who can't get the sneakers to actually get them and enjoy them. I think that's more important than anything that I can personally say, but I feel that with this happening, it kind of, you got to see how everything moves after this moment, because if his next shoe that he won't leak, but give us details about, ends up being and we don't get to see the shoe beforehand, then it just causes a bigger stir than what we would have already had if he would have teased the photo, got the hype around it, got people excited about it. Because shit, at this point, y'all mad at Frank Cook for leaking sneakers, but you had a whole VP getting sneakers sold, having sneakers, and her son's buying sneakers with a personal account and selling the sneakers and ruining the market. You And if I'm mistaken, that happened. I want to say during COVID, or the news didn't come out till after COVID. But needless to say, I think this take, and if I get sued for it, that's fine. I will kind of have to get flagged and be like, oh, remove that part of the video. Fine, but you can't just censor someone because they're leaking a shoe, even though y'all have done way worse with people and they got out scot free. That's all I'm saying. Like, don't cast the first stone if you can't back up your shit. I'm sorry. Sorry. It's almost time for the next sneaker. Yeah, I went on a deep tangent. I'm sorry guys. I don't mean to do that. Like, if I do get into a deep tangent, I try to reel myself back in, but that was kind of personal. Like, there was plenty of shoes that I missed out on in the 2020s, and realizing that somebody in Power's son literally just bought all the shoes and basically are flipping them and ruining the market just shows that you're very hypocritical about what you say and what you're trying to do. I, I did it again. I did it again. I gotta stop. I gotta stop. Talking with my mouth. Because I will. People are just gonna say, "Oh, you're not standing with the company. Oh, why you supporting him because he's black?" Yes, he's black, but damn it, he designed some great ass sneakers. Give the man some motherfucking credit. All right. Now we have a first look at the Nike Kobe 11 EM Proto Mama Days that are dropping April 13, 2026, and they're going for 220. I'll be honest with you. I have yet, I have yet to have win a singular Kobe release, and I refuse to pay the high ass taxes. I would rather wear Milan Brothers old Kobe 10s and that I've cleaned on the channel. If you've seen them before, and I might bring them back and put them on as a short. But I would rather wear those than to take the L and pay double what I'm going to pay for the sneaker if I would have just won on the app. I'm sorry. There's a difference between pride and realization. And I had the realization to realize that my pride was not going to be willing to pay that much. You got me fucked up and you got my time fucked up. But like I said, I'm sorry. There are certain things that will bring out a tangent, and I really try to be hold back. I really do be holding back. I really be. People don't understand. I can go on deep about a topic and just unload the clip with no filter, but I really do be holding back for y'all because I'm sane. All right, back to where we were. So these Kobe EM Mama Days are nice. Some people have their regular pair. Some people, I like the shoe. I've always liked the black and gold with the Kobe Mamba Days. It's just, uh, it's just winning a pair for me. That's the damage that I've done. And it has even a better detail. It like it says it has the detail of on inside the tongue. It's the 2026 version, and they originally they have also Mamba 11 196. So I know people are excited for the shoe. I'm not saying they're not. I'm not saying, you know, enjoy the shoe. I'm just saying I'm just tired of taking these L's. That's all. That's all I'm saying. Tired of taking these L's. Lord, I need a break from these L's. I've been taking L's since yesterday. That's why I really didn't want to stream. I took a lot of L's. Ain't no W's Ryan Shub. I ain't Winston. I ain't Winston. I ain't eating these dubs. No. Ever since somebody got in office, I ain't saying ooh, because I ain't trying to get my channel flagged. We know we've been taking a lot of L's, but I'm gonna smile through the L's and be gracious because I'm still humble little motherfucker. Don't play with me. All right, we're almost an hour in. So my last comment about the sneaker before I go on another deep off the wall tangent is, I'm happy that people are going to be excited for this sneaker, and I think that we should let them have this one and enjoy the moment. All right, I'm gonna take a quick break. I'll be right back. Parched. I'll be back right before the hour mark to continue with the second half of the show. So thank you for tuning in. We'll be right back. All right, 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 all right. I am back, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I need to get off of my feet for a second. We reached our hour mark. Yes, I was getting, getting a little tired of having my tangents. I will admit, I had to stretch a little bit, get back on the prowl, and do it again. Um, I will say this: shout out to Fat Kids Deals making a comeback on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it. His account was suspended, and I have him on my sneaker threads just to make sure if I catch any sales, I'm gonna catch his sales and see what kind of discounts I can get. And for him being off the internet for 36 hours and him making a comeback, I just saw that while I was on break. That means we're getting somewhere, in a nice, getting at least we're taking the steps to be better every day, and that's the problem. I mean, that's the good thing. I wouldn't say it's the problem. The problem is people push us and take us away from our peaceful places and try to make things more chaotic. And after a while, it does get tiring. It does get annoying. It does become a pain in the ass. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. I just want to say thank everyone. Oh, excuse me, I'm so sorry. Thank everyone who's supporting the channel, who's supporting the stream more or less. Like I said, we're our first hour in. I haven't done a 2 hour stream where I'm just straight talking in a long time. So with that, that's already a lot on me. You know, the video is almost done uploading, so at least the internet's moving a little bit better. I shouldn't have too many issues with disconnections like I did in the first half, but needless to say, we're gonna pray for the best. Um, Also another announcement: June during the World Cup will probably be the least amount of shorts. I will be honest with you, and I just want to give you a heads up now because World Cup is coming. Like you might get little clips and little things, but it won't be nothing like this or any. I like if anything, y'all have like recap videos or recaps of what's going on. I might do like a little mini recap or mini little live explaining what's going on, but I can't really say too much because of FIFA and everything like that. But I'm talking about recaps of sneakers that I missed throughout the day, or even seeing the fit that we're supposed to get for the World Cup because that's also going to be sneak preview within itself. Um, And to think that I work with the Texans, so I don't know if they're gonna let us, our mobile ticketing agents allow us to work it, and that's fine. I don't know. I can't reveal any of that anyway. But to be a part of FIFA and World Cup and actually be a volunteer, that's also a blessing. So I'm gonna take those strides and just know that's that. Um, now, now that we're back and now that we're in the second, going to the second hour, yes, I will admit I'm a little exhausted, but that doesn't mean I can't give y'all a conversation piece. I, I can't, at least talk to you about some sneakers. So let's start off with something I saw literally before I got on the break. It's part of the reason why I got on the break. I think this one is for everyone to see. We have. Wait, did I? Did I? Yeah, I think I did. I think I did get rid of it. Well, wait, no, here it is. Let me see. Of course, it's not in my threads. I mean, and that's how you know I'm tired. Hellstar and Adidas, excuse me, have a superstar orange, and I'm watching the video of it. Y'all only see the tongue of the sneaker, but after you look into the video, I'm not gonna lie, that orange sneaker is nice. I think I think people more or less the Gen Zers that actually wear their pants a certain way or wear their clothes a certain way will rock this fashion choice more. I think people are enjoying the collaboration between Hellstars and Adidas, and I think even with this tease is something nice. I think people will like, but I mean, at the end of the day, your only choice is when we get a better photo or a better reveal because I didn't feel like doing like I did for the Jordan meme earlier. Once we get a better reveal, and you could take it as is. I think now more than ever, people are gonna. This is how we get a chance to see sneakers when they look really good on traffic and timing. So let's stay positive. All right, here we go. Now we all remember OKC winning SGA, having a pair of his, Shy Ones come out, and he had a pair especially exclusively for winning the finals. Well, this is the gold pair, and this is the pair I remember seeing. But I did not know, and I want to say thanks to the Soul Retriever if I find this out, because if I don't tell them thank you, I might get cussed out later. But that was he wore around his neck. Like, people are wanting these to come out, and I don't blame them. Like, I think Shy actually just if I'm not mistaken by the filming of this video, gold pair for the public, or at least not the gold pair, the alternate pair. I mean, I don't see why people would like this. I think this chrome and white is really nice as a general release. I don't know, maybe as a special edition release, or very limited release. But I mean, I'm not gonna hate on the man for actually releasing, or wearing the sneaker on his neck. I think people actually like these sneakers a lot, and I think even then they get to enjoy the ride with their player, with the player that they like. I don't think it's a bad thing. Can actually get a pair of sneakers that they can actually enjoy. Needless to say, nothing wrong with that on that end. You should be able to get at least some of his shoes, but I think the two colors that people are going to be looking out for more than anything would be the gold and this alternate color. So let's go to the next sneaker. All right, I'm gonna do this one first, but it's not the original idea I had to go with first. Let me say that. I'm doing this sneaker first only because of the fact that I really did miss out the opportunity to do it earlier, and I should have just did it earlier and got out the way. But you can't cry over spilled milk, and you just gotta let the shit go. So it's another pair of Pumas that we wanted to talk about, and I think I lost the information for them, but I'm about to find them real quick. There we go. We got the Puma H Street OG, and they're available now. These are brand new, and I think for the runners, that like Puma, I think this one be more for y'all than I think the other shoe I showed earlier. That lavender color is a nice color. Don't get me wrong; it's a nice color. I don't think I don't think most men, let me say, will go for that color unless they actually just love that color. But if not, and if you want to have a safer colorway, and people will like the orange and then the lavender. But then again, we are in a weird time, in a weird economy, so we just gotta appreciate what we got, go with it, and roll with the punches. I don't think it's a bad shoe. I just think, and people are gonna say, well, you don't think a lot of shoes are bad shoes. I try to be fair to a lot of sneakers, and this sneaker deserves the fairness that it rightfully deserves. It's not a bad sneaker. It's not in the way that you're thinking of as a bad sneaker. It's just not my cup of tea, and I try to give everything a fair chance. All right, so I'm not gonna leave the ladies out at all. Like, I want to make sure that if I'm gonna talk about men's sneakers, I'm gonna talk about women's sneakers as well. And Nordstrom dropped a new pair of women's Chuck Taylor All Star High Top. This is the deep Bordeaux, and I think the deep Bordeaux is basically, giving me that 1950s vibe. Um, I want to say, and I know Greece is probably, I think, 1960s vibe. And I might be wrong, but let me know in the comments because I forgot. I ain't watched Greece in a minute. But it's giving me the old diner type of vibe where you actually hit the jukebox and everything. And you know, it's giving me that flavor because when you see the ERCOT, the other colorway, let me see if I can pull it up real quick for y'all so y'all can enjoy this. Here we go. Then you see exactly what I'm talking about. Like, you see it for yourself. And like I said, not bad shoes. Neither one of them are bad shoes. I For ladies, I think y'all would like this more. And even though it's a women's shoe, I mean, in the general context, of like, this is a real solid shoe, and I don't want to take away from it. And there's nothing wrong with it. I think, I think even now, we should at least embrace the sneaker the way it is and, have respect for it. It's a cool sneaker. Not knocking it at all. No hate. Nope. I'm unbiased. But I think just gives me that 1950s, 1960 vibes. That's all I'm saying. Correct me if in the comments if I'm wrong, but I don't think so. All right, next shoe. All right, here we go. We're getting it together now, ladies and gentlemen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Um, this is the first look of the Adidas Unheard of Piggy Runner Jelly Bean Pack, and I think I talked about an earlier look when we first started the show. I think not started the show, but started the run for the challenge, and I think if that no, I lied. The other color for the Jelly Bean Pack, I think you should see the other color for the Jelly Bean Pack. They also have this colorway as well. Both shoes are gonna sell. I mean, both shoes in this pack. This pack is going to sell. I don't. The first unheard of run, and I think it was last year on the channel. I said I underestimated an Adidas collab. I learned my mistake the first time. I'm telling you, get them if you can, because if you don't, they will disappear off the face of the earth, and the resale will just be astronomical. Because honestly, this year is for the people who really want to buy sneakers, and and hold yourself to it. Like, don't get me wrong, the plug comes in handy, and I love my plug. My plugs, help me out, because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have been able to got certain shoes and certain deals the way I did. But they don't. But my plugs don't overcharge. Like, that's the thing I appreciate about my plugs. I can say a lot of things, and I will, but my plugs don't overcharge. They at least try to keep it fair value, and a little bit over. You gotta tip your plug. You gotta tip your plug, but it's fair value, and I think, honestly and truthfully, with all due respect, you should at least try to fight against the hard time in our economy, because it's only going to get crazier from here. Now, I will admit, hitting the hour mark and not only fighting exhaustion, but trying to keep the show interesting, so that way at least we have clips, and when we have clips, we got content, and when we got content, y'all get shorts in a different way. Um, I think then and only then you will appreciate the hard work that goes into doing the shorts, and seeing me do the show without actually like doing the shorts. It's a very different take. It's much more sit back, relax, and not, oh, I only got a minute to get all my opinions out. No, because there's some shoes I'm gonna have to come back to from All Star Weekend that I definitely need to talk about, and I will probably do it on tomorrow's or today's live, and try to go into a deeper context, because I really want to sit down and just talk about sneakers. And if y'all don't watch, y'all don't watch, but if y'all do watch, I appreciate your support, because it's really helpful, and it helps the channel grow. And even then, it is what it is. All right. Now, I will admit, some sneakers come out right, some sneakers come out wrong. I just don't get a stop no matter what I do, but I'm always no matter what wrong. So with that being said, the women Air Jordan sail in neutral olive with a cursive Air Jordan. I've seen some of the details about it. It's a HS, and I have to look at what that means, because I know certain sneakers meanings have certain different names, but I haven't heard of HS before, and I know it's a women's exclusive. So I'm just gonna be open, honest, and saying high grade sixes, and for them to be high grade and still go into the outlet in this economy shows that we're prime for a recession. We're prime ready for a recession, and you just have to accept it for what it is. I think the sneaker is nice. I think the suede is nice, and it's a women's exclusive. So if it doesn't do a full run size, that means they're stopping at a 10.5. And even then, for a 10.5 in men, y'all get lucky, because y'all don't get the same y'all get a better treatment of having the flexibility of wearing both women's shoes. Women's shoes are actually stylish for men, but also men's shoes that are very small for your feet. Well, women have to find a way and fight a way to get their own flavors and their own colorways, and not just be all girly. Because I've heard complaints where female sneakerheads really be like, no, we want strong colors with our sneakers. We don't want our sneakers to be all girly, even though they're women's sizes. So you take what you can get, you do what you can, and you try to do the best you can with this sneaker. So let's go back. Let's see. Did I save it already? Yeah, I gotta understand. I'm really tired. Like I'm exhausted, and I got work in the morning. I don't get no breaks. I don't get no stops. All right, all right. We got our next sneaker up. All right, here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, former classmate of mine, Travis Scott, is wearing the Fragment Travis Scott Air Jordan One Low, um, unreleased samples, and y'all know me. Y'all know me. Y'all know me way too well to realize y'all should never show me samples. Cause why in the hell did we not get the black pair? I love samples and I love how you get to see the perspective of a shoe being made from the artist's perspective and the trial and error within the sneaker, and for a sample like that to not be released. Uh, we get shortchanged a lot of things. Sometimes you just have to accept it as is. Sometimes you wish for the best and be like, okay, at least you know y'all got the sneaker. You should be happy. It's not about just having the sneaker. I promise y'all, it's not just about having the sneaker. It's about having the ideas of the artist and showing that okay, we got the fragment highs, we got the fragment lows, pay beyond the resale value. Let's be real, but just for him to wear his own sample sneaker and his sample collab sneaker and it actually looked like they all were going to be fire and not all of them get released shows you that we could have we don't appreciate good things. That's what it is. We could have so much more, but we don't appreciate good things. Like like look at the detail in the black ones. The Nike check, of course, is backwards. And everybody had their opinion. Rodman started it first. It is what it is. Shut your face. But let me get deeper into the shoe. Let's have a deep conversation. Cause y'all sometimes y'all not ready for this. There we go. Zoom in. See the black with the leather on it. Of course, it's gonna say Cactus Jack Fragment. It's basically the dark blue joints, the navy blue joints, and it's a nicer shoe. The blue with the white on it, low key is a sleep. Wondering which sneaker would have released and would have been fire, you would have already had your answer. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Like you already have your answer, and whether or not you like to admit your answer, that's on you. Because the sneaker market is in a weird flux, and sometimes the samples that we do want and we should, have don't get the respect they deserve or don't get an opportunity to be seen. All right, here we go. Now, ladies, I'm gonna do y'all another shoe. This is the Adidas Simone Rocca Taekwondo ballerinas, and I don't know too many girls that do ballet, and especially after Timothy Chalamet said people don't go to opera and ballet, and then Doja Cat backpedaling her words. You know, I'm not gonna get into that. All I'm gonna say is, the ladies should love this. If you do ballet and you want a pair of Adidas and actually like the Taekwondos, this might be for you because the red laces set the shoe off. Let's just be real. The red laces are continuations of the three stripes, and they for granted because there might be it might have its own fan base and people are sleeping on it. Needless, excuse me. Needless to say, I still think this is excuse me a sneaker that, for what it's worth, truly for what it's worth, should be respected, should be adored, should have a fan base. But the way the economy and the market is the fan base is not going to be there for it. I don't think that's a bad thing. I think if y'all really like the Taekwondo ballerinas, go for these Simones and let me know how y'all feel about it in the comments below because it could be a hit or miss depending on how you look at it. All right, we're going to the next sneaker. The show must continue. The shows must go on the road. All right, here we go. 'Cause like I said, I'm trying to diversify the portfolio for y'all. I'm trying to make sure y'all don't just see the same company, the same brand. I really do be trying, but the market and the news, the way it is you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. That was one of my favorite quotes as a teacher, and it's so true. Because, ladies and gentlemen, now we have another pair of the Nike LeBron in NXXT Gin by Juju, and this is light crimson. Now, the next generation for LeBrons, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I think Bronny has his own version of LeBrons, but for Juju to have our own LeBrons is cool. I'm waiting for her to get her actual first shoe, and that probably won't happen until she comes to the WNBA. So let's just be real. We can be patient with this LeBron run. But the first shoe, the silver joints was nice. Light crimson. I got two takes on it. It's like, what if LeBron literally did Red Octobers? Because let's be real, that's really what light crimson is. It's basically a version of a silhouette of the Red Octobers. But even with this next generation, I feel like you could have done a Nike Cortez this color, and it would have still looked identical, and it still would have been probably just as fire as these, and you couldn't, remiss them either way. I'm not taking anything away from Juju. Let me be clear. I think she's gonna have a great career, and I think her sneaker line is gonna be great when she have her own individual line. I just think that the silver joints were nice for LeBron, and this light crimson. I don't think it's a bad shoe, and I'm not trying to discredit Juju at all. I would not do that. I want to be fair and open and honest and have a real debate about sneakers. Like, like even looking at the sneaker, like the suede is on. I mean, the velvet is on the top part. The rest of the shoe is regular color, and it says by Juju on the inside. Like like it has velvet, have it's two different type of materials, and I think the shoe is still nice itself. I'm not taking away from her or the shoe. I'm just saying that the first ones that we saw were better than these, in my honest opinion. All right, I really do be trying to avoid these tangents, y'all. Y'all think I be playing like y'all really think I'm just like, oh yeah, he gonna talk forever. No, I really do be trying to avoid it because I'm like talking like this. I don't. I hate it, but I do what I can for the community. I promise y'all that much. And especially with every sneaker reveal that's being seen on this channel, I do what I can. And I still, like I said, just not doing shorts alone shows a different in the fan base of the channel. There's nothing against y'all. I just know y'all like the shorts because I really try to stay on schedule and drop them 12 3 6 9, 12 3 6 9, And I try to do that for the shorts so that way at least I'm consistent with that, and that's how the channel's numbers going up. Don't get me wrong, I'm not taking any credit from the channel's numbers going up. I'm just saying I needed a break from doing them, and March was going to be that break. That's why I went back to this stream challenge. Well, so here that shit, I really should have started in April and not March because doing this in during Lent is just chaos. That's just my hot take on it. It is what it is. All right, the next sneaker. All right, these are the Air Jordan 11 Low TDs, black, and I think I saw the high blacks that came out on my birthday, and so they just said, you know what, we're just gonna give y'all some lows, and y'all gonna be happy about it. I'm not gonna lie, if there's a way to take the cleat part off the sneaker and actually make it to like a regular Air Jordan 11 Low, you might have something of greatness. But then again, the headassery in it all is they might actually release this and it still would be the greatest version of headassery. And you just have to be like, well, damn, can I just be a head ass and actually like the sneaker for what it is? I don't know. Can you? Because they're both pretty solid. It's a solid release. And I'm not knocking either shoe, honestly. I mean, it is what it is, but I think now more than ever, you really have to appreciate it. And that should be something that we all need to do. It's just appreciate the sneakers, do what we can, and if these are actually pretty solid and have a general release, then we will have that. I really do think so. Okay, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I got maybe a few more shoes I want to get through before I wrap it up tonight. Now, I will admit I'm tired, but I'm not complaining. We are almost an hour and 30 minutes in, and I really do appreciate y'all for tuning into this. And if you do see this in short form, then you'll understand what I mean when I say I really recorded this as a 2-day stream to make up for missing yesterday. So thank y'all for tuning in, and I'm still going, so don't think I'm cutting off right now. I just wanted to give y'all the heads up where my mind is, because I might get a little woozy. Not a little oozy, a little woozy. You gotta have a little fun while on the stream. So it's time to get our next shoe. I'm tired of seeing them on my screen. They're nice, don't get me wrong, but I get tired of it. All right. Let's do these. Let's just do these. Just do them. Just do them. Don't complain. All right. So I don't know if everybody noticed, but they had a big release for Jordan Brazil, and the collaboration with their knits are for the World Cup are actually nice. That's one of the first things I'm gonna say. That's one of the first things I'm gonna acknowledge. With that being said, that I'm excited for. Now, Jordan Brand have a pair of Tempo Mastro Elite FG Infrared 23s, which was also revealed in the promo for Jordan Brand Jumpman Brazil. I know that the team is going to be fired with these cleats, and if y'all see my World Cup ball and leaving my legacy for the World Cup in Houston, I said Brazil needs this one, and I'll be honest with you, we do need this one. So hopefully these cleats will get the job done. I like the colorway. I just wish they were like a regular sneaker, honestly, or even a dunk. Or I would say if you take this infrared and the material of how it's done and put it into a Air Jordan 1 low, it would still get the same attention or get the appreciation that people would actually rock with these. I don't think they're bad at all. I think this would have been it. This would have been it for a lot of people. But and I know I'm wearing my Barcelona knit, but let me know how y'all feel about these in the comments below, because I really want to know y'all opinion on these. I mean, they look solid. I just, I love the infrared. I'm trying not to be biased because I do love infrared. I do love the color infrared. Like, I really genuinely do. Ever since my sixes, I've always loved that color. So I can't. I'm trying to be as unbiased as possible, and I do need y'all help. Okay, let's get ready for the next sneaker. Let's get ready for the next sneaker. Like, I'm gonna probably put some sound drops on my podcast board, because I haven't had time to fully mess around with it. You know, my mental state has been a roller coaster, but that doesn't mean I don't want to make the show better, and I don't want to make the show grow in its own right. And even though I'm not streaming the game as much, I could literally just did the game stream and made this a little bit more, energetic. I really just wanted to talk about the sneakers today. And like I said, the countdown really begins now more than ever, but I might not even make it to the full 2 hour mark. I make it to the 1 hour 45 minute mark and call it a day, or figure out something, because I'm really fighting exhaustion right now, ladies and gentlemen. And I gotta get up early, so I'm gonna do what I can and keep going. All right. Now, I don't know if you can see all the shoes, but we have concept testing, and Fragment is dropping. See what I meant by collab fatigue? I didn't know they was dropping 4 separate shoes at one time, because they're dropping an Air Liquid Max, the Mind Black, Mind 001 Black, the Mind 00 Black for black as well. See, I'm a 002 Black, and they have a Particle Gray 00 Black. I think the Mind shoes are gonna sell out. Let's just be real. I'm surprised they didn't add the book twos in this collection. They would have had a 5-piece collection for shoes, as many releases that Fragment is having with Nike right now. So I'm surprised about that. I'll be honest with you, very surprised. But I will say, the Air Liquids will probably be gone in a blink of an eye. It's a Fragment collab. People are gonna buy these and sell out them. The shoe is nice, and that's the one thing I will say. It's bad enough that the sneaker is nice. It's a bad thing it's a Fragment collab, because there's no shoe that's safe here. I'll be dead ass honest with you. I truly feel like this collaboration In all honesty, and in all honesty, will probably sell out quickly, and no one will be safe. There is no safety. There is no safety net for the. There is nothing safety. There's no safety about these. Oh, oh shit! Hold on. I might hold on. Hold on. I got some good news. Hold on. Hold on. I got good news, and it was all on accident. Cause even though I literally just explained collab fatigue. As I explained collab fatigue, I'm about to go into another collab. Shoot, give me 1 second. I mean, mm. All right. Let's see if I can find it. Hold on. Hold on. There it is. All right. Let's see if I can save this photo. 1 hour and 34 minutes in. We are doing good. Hold on. All right. So as I was looking up sneakers to keep the show going, I talked about the Hellstar oranges that I wore on the earlier part of the show, but I seen this in the middle of looking up new sneakers, and he showed a better photo of the oranges, but he showed us all the other sneakers that Hellstar has collaborated with Adidas. Not gonna lie to you, these are gonna sell. Cause I remember seeing the white joints already. I never seen the camos, and I never seen the blacks. I just did the orange, so there's nothing that's whack. And I know that rhymes, and I know that's crap, but that's everything that's fair. That's all that matters. So, needless to say, I truly think, that needless to say, there are certain sneakers that will there are certain sneakers that catch people attention. I think there are certain sneakers that people will either be surprised by or enticed by, and I think Hellstar in this collaboration is something that's nice as well. I think truly it's certain things that people will either be surprised by or not. And I think this Hellstar collab will be something that people are surprised by. Now, if I had to rank them, I'm not gonna lie to you, it would probably be camo, then the white, then no camo, then the white, then the orange, then the black in that order. I think all four shoes are nice, but if I had to pick one, if I was trying to save my life and I had to pick one, it'd probably be the camo joints. I'm not gonna lie to you, the camo joints are actually pretty fire. All right, so let's keep going, shall we? I know we are wrapping up. We're literally 1 hour and 36 minutes in, and I might have to make up that extra 15 minutes on today's show. It is Friday the 13th by the filming of the show, but like I said, I started on the 12th, and I'm making up for that in the 11th. And honestly, I'm trying to find at least another sneaker to go through. I don't want to do the Nike SBs yet. I don't. I want to wait till a better photo come out for them. Um, like so many different takes, so many different sneakers. Let me see if I can find something on the timeline, and hopefully not get flagged on the channel for what popped up on my timeline because it was not prepared for that. Okay, okay. So the cleats and the tempos were part of the collaboration. Okay. I don't. I want to save the Nike Palace collab for later. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Like, I feel like that one will be important later down the line. I don't want to just take it, use it, and then not have nothing for tomorrow. If I do decide to do sneakers, or if I do decide to do live build, I want to make sure that at least the show's entertaining. And then I gotta prepare for the Tianas tomorrow. The raffle for premium goods. Can't do this, Todd. Todd. Like Grandpa would say, that's too damn bad, boy. I believe it. All right. Let me see if I can find one more sneaker to wrap up the show because I don't think and this is my honest opinion that there's any other sneakers out that I mean I could go through the other. the other Jordan brands that are actually dropping retros, and I could talk about them, but I rather wait. I rather wait to say those because let's be honest, y'all already heard enough Nike, I already heard enough Jordan brand, y'all already heard enough, certain brands, and I'm trying to, at least venture out to give y'all a chance, to see what other brands are doing as far as other collab. Ooh, okay. Thank you. Something new. Something new. All right. And I think I will wrap it up with this sneaker because that's probably the last sneaker I will find for the night and to go into the next day. Okay. Okay, let's see. I really gave y'all a master class and really just getting sneakers and literally finding them for the sake of content and finding a way to make sure that I stay relevant within the market. So, all right, here we go. All right, here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Johnson, Miss Lajanae Johnson. If I said your name wrong, I do apologize. I will do better to correct it. Like I said, it's almost 2 o'clock in the morning. It's 1:30, and I'm really just making sure that I get this done. But I just saw that your Puma All Pro Nitro 2 PEs are dropping tomorrow. And can I be honest with you? I don't know if you're Greek or not. I don't remember. I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm really drawing a blank. But I could see the AKAs rocking these sneakers. It's pink and green with the khaki on it. Like if there's an AKA Hooper, if you fam and you a Hooper, let me know because we need to talk. And I want to know would you actually rock these or not? Like y'all hooping in a D9 basketball game. Like you can't tell me. And maybe it's a Southern thing, but you can't tell me y'all wouldn't hoop in these. Like I don't see y'all not hooping in them. I'm sorry. Like you can't tell me that y'all not gonna be hooping in these. That's just my take on it. I think um, even then, it's still something to be appreciative of. Needless to say, I think that this is a nice sneaker and a nice colorway, and I'm not gonna just underrate it, but just because of my mispronunciation, because I do apologize for. It. This is still a great sneaker and a great release for her, and I think this drop tomorrow should be a successful one for her. I just want that to be the underlining point whenever I talk about sneakers. If I do mispronounce the name, I do apologize. But I want to make sure that if anything goes right, I want your sneaker or your brand at that time to be successful. All right. And with that being said, I'm gonna have to call it a wrap. It's 1 hour and 40 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all got a lot of sneakers today. Your boy's tired. Your boy's, about to check out mentally. And I want to make sure that I'm energetic and ready for y'all for the next day. So this is your boy Landon Strange with Sneakers and Stogies, and this is the Late Night Sneaker Talk Show. And we are signing out. We hope you have a wonderful day. This is Friday the 13th, and you'll see me back later on today. Have a nice one. Yeah.